I'm in northern Kenya, where millions of tourists come to experience nature. But every year, 70 people die in attacks by wild animals. In hot climates, if you try to walk in the heat of the day with no water, you may last no more than 4 hours. But if it's a choice between life and death, there's a survival trick I was shown by an old ranger. One thing you can do if you're stuck out here with no water source at all is actually drink the fluid from a fresh elephant dung. Pretty disgusting, but it could save your life. It's a real last resort. There can be harmful bacteria in that water, but if you have nothing else to drink, it could buy you extra time. Not one of the better drinks I've ever had. Whilst I've been in the crater, it looks like the savannah's predators have been busy. Those vultures are a clear sign that something has fallen prey. There might even be a meal for me. But as I'm walking towards them, I spot something else. Whoa. Down. There's a group of white rhino here. This is just amazing to see. They're probably only about 50 meters away from me here. And I need to be pretty careful. You must never underestimate rhino. I know of 2 South African brothers that got charged by a big bull rhino and they were gored and trampled on. They were a real mess. But they eventually got rescued, air ambulanced out, and they were definitely lucky to live. And look, you can see there, those 2 rhino have gone into the defensive position where they put their backsides together and they face outwards. And that's their first warning to me that I'm getting too close here. They're unsure of me, and that first warning means the rhino are weighing up whether to take me on or run away. I'm right on the edge of their comfort zone. If I move any further towards them, they could charge. But as with elephant, if you ever have to face a rhino charge, there is something you can do to save yourself. And if they did turn and charge towards me, what I've got to do is hold my nerve and not try and just outrun them, because I've never managed to do that. You've got to stand firm, face it, hold that nerve, and then at the last minute, dive to the side, and then find cover. And look, you can see them just beginning to edge towards me now. Okay, we need to find a way around here. I've moved out of their threat zone, and they're happier now, and slowly they move away. Those vultures I saw before are on the ground now, and quite close. They should have taken flight at my approach, but they haven't. And that can only mean one thing. Look at that, you see that? Those vultures there, they're so full of what they've been feeding off, they can't even take off. They're just like waddling up the hill. And this is what these vultures have been after. Look at this, dead zebra. There's definitely a lion kill. And you can see where the lions have taken it down, eaten all the meat, all the innards, and then leaves the bone and the skin for the vultures circling above. Amazing to see it just so close. A kill like this can mean food for the survivor. And there are ways you can tell if the meat on it is fit to eat. Vultures are the first sign, as they will only eat fresh meat. Check also for maggots. The lack of maggots tells me that this kill is hours rather than days old. And if the carcass smells rotten, move on. But this meat is fresh and an excellent source of protein. And this is so tough, this skin. But look at under all of this. I go peel the skin back. That is all going to be as fresh a meat as I'm going to find out here. Even though it doesn't taste that magic, that's the best chance of me getting some protein. And this is actually how a lot of early man used to hunt. They actually weren't great hunters. They were actually good scavengers and pickers of berries. And opportunistic, following out where lions would eat. That's a nasty bit. And I keep the last little bit of this steak, as much as I think I'm going to be able to eat in the next hour or so, and stick it in my pocket and eat this bit before it goes off. One last bit. Awesome. There you go, they're looking straight at me now. It looks like two lionesses with her cubs just shading from the sun. But I've got to be super careful here. Those lionesses are going to be so protective of their young, and it means I need to keep more distance. They can move 20 meters in just over a second, unbelievably fast. And their claws, razor sharp, one swipe, they'd disembowel a man. And a big male, if it went for you, one swipe straight across the neck, could take a man's head right off. And the only thing I could do, if it did go for me, is stand tall, put my arms out wide, make a lot of noise, clap, and basically try and bluff, because there's no way you can run. Their instinct is to chase. They're chase animals. They can't help it. And if you run, you're gonna be chased, and you're gonna be dead. Listen to that, listen to that. Okay, it's time we need to be out of here, guys. Okay, let's keep moving.
I'm heading south, aiming for that mountain. If you're lost in the wilderness, the usual advice is to hunt for a stream which will lead to a river and follow that downstream until you find people.
And that would work anywhere apart from in Africa, because what often happens here is that you'll follow these streams and these rivers, and they'll run and they'll run, and then they'll just disappear into the ground, into these aquifers, and effectively into nothing. And to have that happen to you would be a real bummer. So the best advice in Africa is actually to do the opposite than normal and head upstream, follow the water source all the way until you find some sort of civilization that way. Been walking for most of the day now, and if I'm honest, I'm pretty bushed. I need to find somewhere just to lie up and to rest. And this isn't a bad place. We're pretty near water. The problem with being near water is mosquitoes. But what I'm looking for, which there's quite a lot of around here, is blackjack. And that's a really good insecticide. And here we go, there's one. Just take this, I can put it straight onto the fire.
You can tell blackjack by its oval-shaped leaves bordered with coarsely toothed edges. It grows about 2 foot long, and when the flowers are out, they have pinkish-white petals.
And that will help keep the mosquitoes away. Mosquitoes are the biggest killer of people in Africa because of the malaria they spread. So this will help me.
Malaria kills 1 million Africans every year.
Well, here's the stream. It's not much, but it means at least I'm in the right area for streams and for rivers.
And it's these streams and rivers that I'm hoping will lead me upstream to people. And there's more blackjack for me to burn on my fire as a mosquito repellent.